What is up, guys? It is Wednesday, October 30th. I ended up having a losing day today. And I actually took two trades. One of them was sort of a break-even type of trade, and the second one was a flat-out loser. And so let's get into it. I did make some mistakes today, but we'll get into exactly why. So first off, starting out on the 4-hour time frame here, we were hanging out in this area right here. I was expecting price to move down into this 4-hour fair value gap. There was a level of sell side liquidity that we had here, so I was looking for this fair value gap to hold price up and continue moving higher. The reason being because if we look at the market structure here, we had that sweep below, price moved up, created a swing low, created a swing high. I was expecting a higher low to be put in here to then continue moving higher into this bullish draw on liquidity that we had there. So I dropped down into the 1-hour time frame as well. I believed that we had this 1-hour fair value gap that would hold price, as well as this 1-hour fair value gap here. I wanted that the 4 hours should not close below here, as that will create a 4-hour inversion fair value gap, which would mean more downside. But as you can see, obviously the day did not do that. We did drop into these levels, okay? Look at the 15-minute. You see that we have a sell side liquidity level right here. I wanted price to come down, tap into that, and then recover from there to continue moving higher. So that was my game plan from the start. I figured we were going to have some kind of retracement down into this area and then have the move on higher. So market opens up, and as you know, we got that massive drop at the open, which fit into the narrative of going higher because we had accumulation, manipulation down, and so I was expecting for a distribution move on up and continuation higher, and then of course for the rest of the day as well to continue moving on higher, especially because we had the Asia session, London session that swept the Asia session. Here we swept Asia and New York PM session from yesterday, which was that sell side level that I had marked out. And yeah, overall, that was what I was expecting. Now, here is the first mistake that I did. Usually, okay, when we have that, this is probably like an A+ setup for me, where we drop down aggressively and begin to recover very quickly. And this 1 minute fair value gap right here was one that I had marked out. I also had marked out this one where I wanted to see price close above both of them. Now, this one right here got invalidated, this 1 minute in bearish fair value gap. So I could have market ordered in here, put my stop below the low, and then target the highs right over here, especially a 1 to 2 like I usually am now. I'm trying to just hit 1 to 2s. And this one did get tapped in, right? This inversion got tapped in and continued moving higher. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, it didn't. As you can see here, here's the inversion. We create that inversion fair value gap, but price never taps into it. Now, my problem was that I waited for this one. Now, usually I market order in, as you guys know and have seen in my previous videos. But I don't know what got into me today that I decided to put a limit order. And I was like, if I get tapped in, I get tapped in. Otherwise, I'll just catch the retracement and then continue into the trade. And as you can see, that did not happen. Okay, I never got tapped in, and price ran to these highs right here, these relative equal highs, and moved higher. I had this 15-minute level right there because it was a 15-minute bearish fair value gap that got created. If we had a close above that, then we have longs in place, which over here was this was not relevant to this one. That was relevant to here. I got ahead of myself. So price moved on higher and would have hit a 1 to 2. Maybe even if I hit in here, would I have still gotten, nowhere near a 1 to 2. Probably would have gotten stopped out. Yeah, if I didn't take my full profit, but it's all good. It's neither here or there. The problem is that my setup was right here and I didn't take it. Okay. I waited too long for too much confirmation. I've just been so hurt last month and the previous month before that, just taking these specific trades here, that I've become a little, more conservative. Before I was riskier, I would take this. I should have taken this. All right. Price action has been, working out pretty well lately. So I think I might start taking these more risky plays in the sense of yeah, I'm just going to enter in as soon as it shows that plan that I had laid out. Okay. So after that started to move on up without me, I was looking to see if there was any kind of area where I could have entered in, any bearish fair value gap get created, which nothing, right? There was no fair value gap being created here. So I waited all morning for a retracement. And as you can see, we got a bearish fair value gap get created here. We did have an invalidation of it, but not enough for me to feel confident. Price moves down, continues to move down. We create another bearish fair value gap, which price then moves on up. And we do end up getting that invalidation. So by the time I got in, I market ordered in right there, put my stop below that low. And we also got a 15-minute close above this level, which showed bullishness. Okay, it wanted to move higher, in my opinion, in that moment. Right over here as well in this 15-minute right there. Okay, so overall, I was feeling good. I was feeling good on this trade, and I thought it was going to continue moving higher. I had this 1 minute fair value gap here that I said I wanted it to inverse, and once price hit this level right here, I marked out to go break even. For me, break even was this swing low that got created right here. And as you can see, price then just drops and taps me out. All right. Now I'm thinking, okay, we got a very nice push back on up. Here we created a bearish fair value gap. Push on up. Okay, this is looking good, right? It looks like we're trying to sweep this low right there. And so once price creates this inversion fair value gap, I put my limit order entry here, target this same draw that I had before as the Asian session highs, I believe it was. Or no, it was just a 1 to 4, I guess. I'm not sure what I was targeting at that point, but I was targeting higher. And as you can see, that ended up getting stopped out. So that was the only 2 trades that I took today. I essentially ended with a -1R on the day. Not terrible, right? But also not the best. But it was just a wonky day for me in terms of reading price action. I didn't take a look at anything, or actually I didn't take any trades in the PM session, but there definitely was some verification that we would go down. Obviously, if you take a look at the 15-minute time frame, we had this bullish fair value gap get invalidated. So I was starting to think maybe, just maybe, we are heading lower. And that was also a turning point here on these longs where I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it. I didn't trust myself on that part. I should have, in hindsight, trusted that we were going to go lower, because this bullish fair value gap right there on the 15-minute did not hold us. But regardless, as you can see, we do get displacement below that low. So you could have looked for some kind of a entry here to then target lower. And so I'm sure there was some kind of entry here to some extent of an inversion fair value gap, and you could have banked, right? Now, I don't trade PM, like I always say. I always think to do it, but some days I'm just super busy in the afternoon. So, but hopefully you guys ended up green. That's all I saw today. Those were the mistakes that I made. And yeah, we will see what tomorrow brings, guys. Peace.